Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, I appreciate your attention every single day that you tune in to Daily Mind Shift to hear my point of view concerning how to shift your mind one day at a time. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to continue where I stopped yesterday concerning irrationality of obsession, irrationality of passion that differentiates successful people with others that struggle. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. You cannot succeed without being obsessed about your work. Obsession requires sacrifice, and sacrifice leads to success. You cannot succeed without being obsessed about your work. Obsession requires sacrifice, and sacrifice leads to success. Now, this might sound intense, all right? And that is because it is. It is intense, but let's be real. Success is not handed to anyone on a silver platter. No, it's not handed to you. If it's handed to you, you would have been successful. It will have been better for you than it is right now. Success, it's earned. Success is earned through blood, sweat, tears, and you guessed it, obsession. You have to be obsessed. There is a level of obsession that is needed for you to achieve anything in this life. Anything at all. You have to be obsessed, all right? So we will talk about what it really means to be obsessed with your work, why that obsession is critical for success, and how the sacrifices you make along the way are not just necessary, but they are part of the journey that leads to greatness. Do you understand me? We will talk about that for a couple of minutes. In the next 5-7 minutes, we're done. See, when we talk about obsession, let's just get one thing clear. This is not about being unhealthy or losing sight of your life's balance. Do you understand? I'm not saying you should tilt towards imbalance, that you sacrifice everybody for. No. I'm talking about there is a balance to this. It is about a deep, unwavering focus on something that you care about. You care about that thing so much that it becomes a central part of your identity. It's about being so engrossed in your work that it doesn't feel like work anymore. It's your passion, it's your calling, it's your purpose, and the thing that keeps you awake at night. Not because it's a burden, all right? Not because it's a burden, but because you are excited about what you are creating, you are excited about what you're solving, you are excited about whatever it is that you are building. See, the reality is, when you look at the most successful people in any field, whether it is business, whether it is sports, whether it is art or science, they all share a common trait. They are or were obsessed with their work. They are and were obsessed with their work. Think about the greats. We spoke about Steve Jobs yesterday. Remember Michael Jordan, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey. These people did not just like what they did. No. They don't just like it. They lived it. They breathed it. Do you understand me? It's consume every fiber of their being. They sacrificed the other parts of their lives, whether it was sleep, social time, or even relationships, to pursue something greater than themselves. This level of obsession often seems extreme, all right? When you're looking at it from the outside, it often seems extreme. And that is because it is. It is extreme. But here's the thing. It's this very extremity that often leads to breakthrough success. The reason is simple. When you are obsessed with your work, you master it. When you are obsessed with your work, you're willing to do what others want. You're willing to put in the hours. You're willing to face the failures. You're willing to push through pain. When other people ran away, you stood by yourself and said, see, I will see this thing through. You're not satisfied with mediocrity because your obsession drives your excellence. Your obsession drives your excellence. That is what it means to be obsessed, and that's why it seems extreme to outsiders. See, obsession by its very nature demands a certain kind of focus that most people are unwilling or unable to commit to. If you are an obsessive person, especially when it comes to work, most people will not understand you. All right. It means you think about your work constantly, not just when you are at your desk or in the office. It means your mind is always working on solving some problems associated with your work. Your mind is always working on generating ideas, on finding solutions. Even when you are doing something else, your mind is still trying to plot graphs to solve a problem around your work. It's not something you turn on and off. It's always there with you. It's always there with you. It's always there simmering in the background. It's always there ready to boil over into action at any time. See, this level of focus is crucial because success doesn't come from just dabbling into one thing, one or two things like that. No. You cannot dip your toes in the waters of success and expect to make a splash. You have to throw your whole body over. You have to dive in head first, fully immersed in whatever it is that you're doing. That is where obsession comes in. It keeps you in the water, pushing you to swim deeper, to go faster, and with more determination than anybody else. See, obsession is only part of the equation of success. The other part is sacrifice. You see, obsession requires you to prioritize your work above what other aspects of your life. And while this can be difficult, all right, this can be difficult and controversial sometimes, it's often necessary. To reach the levels of success that most people only dream of, it's often necessary, all right? Think about it. When you are obsessed with something, you're willing to make sacrifices that others are not willing to make. You're willing to give up night out. You're willing to give up weekends. You're willing to even give up some of the comforts of your life for you to pursue your goals. You're willing to sacrifice your time, your energy, and sometimes even some part of your peace of mind to push yourself to the next level. And let's be real. Sacrifice is not easy. All right. Sacrifice is not easy. It's hard to say no to things that bring immediate pleasure, that brings immediate comfort. It's hard to choose the grind over relaxation. It's hard to choose the late night work session over a night of rest. It is hard, but this is where the rubber meets the road. All right. This is where the true test of your commitment to success lies. Sacrifice. When you pair sacrifice with obsession, it becomes a powerful force. It is what separates the good from the great. All right. It's what separates the achievers from the dreamers. It is what turns potential into reality. So, to tie this episode up, let me ask you this. How do you now develop this kind of obsession and the willingness to make sacrifices in your own life? How do you develop it? You need to find something that you are passionate about. You need to find something that you are really, really passionate about, that you are willing to suffer for. Obsession is not something you can force, all right? You cannot force it. It has to come from a place of deep desire, a place of deep interest, a place of deep commitment. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, it's going to be hard to sustain the level of focus. It's going to be hard to have the dedication that obsession requires. It's going to be difficult. But passion alone is not enough. You'll also need to be disciplined, because that's where sacrifice comes into play. Obsession does not mean walking yourself into death without a plan. It means being strategic, focused, and intentional about how you spend your time and how you spend your energy. It means you set your goals, you create routines around your goals, you stay committed to your vision, even when things get tough, because it will, and you need to also be willing to make sacrifices. This means you are being honest with yourself about what you're willing to give up to achieve your goals. It might also mean cutting back on your leisure time, saying no to some social invitations, or even making difficult choices in your personal life. But you need to remember this. These sacrifices are investments in your future. They are the price you pay for success. And finally, you need to be resilient. Obsession and sacrifice are not easy paths to walk. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments that you doubt yourself. But it is in these moments that your commitment to your work will be tested. If you can push through, if you can stay focused and keep moving forward, you will find that the sacrifices you've made will lead to success. What have we been talking about? You cannot succeed without being obsessed about your work. Obsession requires sacrifice, and sacrifice leads to success. So today, go out go out there, be obsessed